been a little bit, but I have had a couple questions that I know I need to answer, and it's all about wigs and toppers on Wig Wednesday. So if you have some topper questions, I will try my best to answer them. I'm pretty new at toppers though, so I'm not sure how good of a resource I'm going to be for you quite at this time, but I always try to answer these questions the best I can, do really revolving completely around just my own experience, because that's what I have to draw upon. So today's question is, how long do your wigs last? That is such an excellent question. I wish I would have thought to ask that one actually before I started my wig journey, because I had the assumption, based on I don't know what, that they last as long as you want them. And basically they're going to last forever until you don't wear them anymore. I really thought that. I had no idea that I was so wrong. And that was probably the most disheartening lesson to learn as a wig wearer and a wig investor. You know, you invest in these wigs. I have invested in really some of the best when it comes to the synthetic wigs. So, you know, the Jon Renauds, the Raquel Welch, the HD fibers, the full mono tops, and even the 100% hand-tied versions of these wigs that are the priciest of them all on this synthetic line. So it is very disheartening when you realize that your wig is breaking down. You've only been wearing it maybe I've had them start breaking down within a few weeks. And that was hard. That is a huge drawback for me. I don't have an endless budget. I definitely sell the wigs I don't wear so I can keep my budget going. And I think that was my hardest lesson to learn. And it was all through just experience. I thought I was doing something wrong. And for the most part, if you followed my wig journey from the very beginning, it was with Elizabeth by Jon Renau, 100% hand-tied wig. Beautiful. I still love that wig. However, I didn't realize that you should probably not just have one wig and wear it every single day from morning till night and expect it to last for you. That is exactly what I did though with my Elizabeth wig. And so it did break down very quickly. I didn't also know that you shouldn't wash it very often, if at all, in actual wig shampoo. So the first time I washed my Elizabeth wig, it just didn't help. It made it look worse. The first time I washed my Raquel Welch straight up with a twist wig, it ruined it tremendously. And the only thing that revived that wig was soaking it in fabric softener and not rinsing it out. So, you know, it's all a learning process. It's all a journey. But let me tell you, that was really disappointing. The wig manufacturers, they try to give you the most realistic fiber that they can, but apparently they have yet to invest or find one or make one that will not break down so fast and yet still give you that realism that you get with especially the HD fibers. So, you know what, that's also another question, so I won't go into that, but I can tell you, because it relates to this question, is that HD fibers are the most realistic. They require no dry shampoo. They have the most absolute realistic feel, touch, and look when it comes to all the aspects of what we want in a wig fiber that is not human hair, you know. And that is, we don't want it to look like doll hair, so it can't be too shiny. And we want it to not be huge in diameter. We want it to have a nice soft feel so it flows. And HD fibers absolutely give you all of that. However, they are much more delicate. They require much more delicate care when it comes to all aspects, and they break down quicker for sure. Now, I have had synthetic fibers that aren't HD break down to me way too fast. And you know, it all depends on how you handle them and how you care for them. This is true. I am very careful with my wigs. Yes, I love to style them. I absolutely do. I know that the more that you work the fiber, the more friction is involved. It's going to break down whether it's HD or not. However, when you guys see me style a wig, that is like a one-time thing. pretty until I wash it and it's flat again, and then I'll go in and maybe get it set the way I like it, you know. And you should be able to do that with your wigs. Absolutely, you should be able to do that. I use products that are entirely made for synthetic fibers. And it may look like I'm being very rough, but I'm not at all. And more likely than not, even on the non-HD fibers, I will use this. And you absolutely have to use this, a very wide tooth pick on your HD fibers anyway. But yeah, so the answer to the question is how long do your wigs last? It's going to depend on how you care for it, but largely it's going to depend on what sort of fiber it is. And if it has a lot of length to it. Obviously the longer, medium length, longer wigs are going to break down faster, and it's going to start at the bottom, especially in the back and the nape, because that's where a lot of friction happens. And the friction is what breaks down the fiber, and eventually it starts looking different and sticking together. And you're noticing that maybe when you put your head down, the whole wig goes up with it because they're all sticking together. And so it happens whether it's HD or not. I have had my Ignite by Jon Renau for over a year now. It is an HD fiber. The back portion of the nape, it's very short, you know, nape area, but it's finally broken down. It's looking pretty raspy, but I still wear it. But the rest of it looks pretty dang good. I've been really surprised with the longevity I've gotten in that wig because it is an HD fiber. But it is also a shorter style, and they just tend to last longer. It's also got quite a lot of length here in front, and I'm surprised that it hasn't gotten really gross to where I can't wear it at all because of how terrible it looks in the front. It isn't. It's doing really well. Does it look like it did when I got it new? No, but I still wear it. I need to probably get another one now, but I have been putting that off. Budget's not in the budget to get anything right now like that. So anyway, that one surprised me because I wasn't expecting to get that much wear out of it, and I'm still wearing it. Now your longer wigs are really going to break down much quicker. If you love longer wigs, to be honest, I would probably stay away from the HD fibers because I just don't think you're going to get hardly any wear out of it with those, you know, the longer lengths. So shorter styles, go with the HD. I think you'll be happy with it. Other than that, I don't know. I guess it depends on how much you invest in it, you know, and you can kind of weigh the pros and cons. I love HD fibers, love them to death. Man, I would pick an HD fiber over the non every time if it's offered, either or. But in general, I have to say the longer styles, because I don't wear really long wigs. Anyway, I would definitely opt out of the HD fibers when it comes to the longevity, for sure. So, you know, I have heard in general, HD fiber wigs are going to last you 3 to 6 months. And I would say non-HD regular synthetic fibers, it should be 6 months to a year as far as I'm concerned. And that's what I'm seeing with my own wigs anyway. Don't wash them very often. Don't use wig shampoos. Just use, if you have to wash it because you're smelling something or you really want to get the product out, go ahead and soak it in the Woolite Delicates. Don't use much. Very, very cold water, very cold water. Let it soak there for maybe, I don't know, 8 to 10 minutes, and then rinse the hoon hawks out of it, man. Rinse it and then rinse it again and rinse it again. Make sure that water is cold as you can get it. Rinse, 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 and then rinse out your sink, fill it back up with very cold water, put an entire cap of fabric softener in the water. I go for the Downy Sensitive Skin No Scent, and kind of, you know, blend that in the water before you immerse that wig again. Gently push your wig in the water, kind of drag it back and forth like you should when you do the washing part as well with the Woolite, and then let it soak there for about 10 to 13 minutes. When it's done, don't rinse it out. I know it sounds crazy, but it will soften and condition your wig better than any wig product can. I have seen it with my own eyes. That technique is what has saved the wigs that were breaking down very quickly, like my Straight Up with a Twist. And it has really saved my wigs. It has saved the longevity of my wigs. I think if I did not discover that, and it was from watching YouTube videos, I don't think I would have purchased any more wigs past my Elizabeth, because no, probably past the second wig that I bought was straight up with a twist. And I don't think I would have absolutely not purchased any more wigs after that one, because I had such a bad experience washing that one when it was brand new, but it needed washing. Used the Jon Renau shampoo for wigs, and completely just, I did everything like you're supposed to, and it was disheartening. So I didn't wash it in the Wool-Aid or anything. I just soaked it in the conditioning, in the fabric softener bath, and it revived it, and I was able to wear it, for a long time. So thank goodness. Anyway, that would be my estimation. Again, though, there are wigs that break the rules. Some people have had their HD wigs for over a year. I've had somebody tell me that they've had their Ignite wig, the same one, for 5 years. And I would say the main thing is don't get just one wig. It's going to break down very quickly if you wear it every day, the same one. You have to be able to, alternate. I would say, 3 wigs that you've grown to really like, when you get it down to just 3, three's good, and that will keep you rotating them, and you won't have to wash them so often, and you can survive very nicely on your wig journey with just 3. So invest in good ones, as good of ones as you can, because you want the comfort, you want, the realism as much as possible. Now, with that said, I have to say that the best fiber when it comes to how long it lasts, when it comes to tangling, when it comes to how it feels and moves, by far, in my experience, the best brand I have ever found has been Noriko. Noriko fibers are amazing. What's going on here? Why can't they all be like that? What's really sad for me, though, is I can't wear Noriko wigs because the closed caps. And I've had many of them, and I've had to sell them all because of the closed caps. They're very uncomfortable, they're very warm, they're very itchy for me. I'm hypersensitive, so I can't put up with a lot of stuff that many of you can. And I'm really upset because I have to say that I have had longer wigs in the Noriko line, like the Seville and the Jackson. Those fibers honestly were, I believe, the best that I've experienced. They don't tangle. The Seville was pretty long, and it didn't really tangle. They're amazing. I think they're very realistic, but again, the closed caps couldn't do it. And another thing that Noriko is kind of known for is the permatease. So if you're not into that, you're not going to want them, because usually quite a bit of permatease in those Noriko wigs. But man, those fibers, beautiful. Anyway, I hope that helps for those of you that have asked that question and are pondering putting your foot in that wig pond. I'm here to tell you it's good that you know this from the beginning, how you can kind of circumvent this from destroying your wig journey is don't use wig shampoos on them. Don't wear one for a long extended period of time. Rotate a couple in the rotation there so you don't have to wash them so quickly, and you're not causing that friction every single day on that one wig. And be careful, comb them out gently from the bottom. Just treat them delicately, whether they're HD or not. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Stay young at heart, and I'll see you real soon.